Good day, everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to play classic Payday. Now there's a couple of different versions of the game out here. The version I have is from the mid-70s, one of the original editions. There is a version, and this is the version, that's actually completely different than the version I'm about to teach you. In my opinion, don't get that version. Stick with this version. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the game. The object of the game is you're going to try to be the person that ends up with the most amount of money by the end of the game. Now, if you look at the board, you'll note that it is looks like a calendar. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to figure out how many months you actually want to play the game for, so you can choose the length. So you can choose 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year if you want to, etc. So once you figure out how long you want to play, you'll go ahead and you'll place your pawns here, and then you will go ahead and start. So let's just talk about some of the things about the game. The first thing is everybody is going to receive $325 to start, and there is the money. One person is going to be the banker, and he's going to be the one in charge of giving and receiving the money. And the other person is going to be the record keeper, and this person is going to be in charge of keeping track of the savings accounts and any loans that are taken out from the players. So let's just talk about a few of the spaces over here. Sweet Sundays, basically nothing is going to happen. It's just a rest day of sorts. There are certain spaces where you'll be able to collect money. For example, you'll be able to collect $500 if you land here. There's also spaces where you'll have to pay money. An example of that would be the groceries, you having to pay $75. Okay, now you'll note that there are some spaces that are look like mailboxes with a number on them. If you end up landing on one of these spaces, you're going to draw the amount of cards that is shown on the mailbox. So in this case you draw 1, in this case you would draw 3, and there's a few different types of cards that you can end up getting. The first one is a lottery ticket. If you end up getting this, you're going to put this to the side, and if you end up landing on the lottery draw space over here before you land on Payday, you'll end up receiving the amount of money that is on this card. In this case, it would be $50. You also could receive a bill, and there's a bunch of different types of bills in here. And what you'll do is if you get this bill, you'll just place it to the side somewhere near you, and then you're going to go ahead and pay the bill off at the end of the month when you land on Payday. And if you can't end up paying the bill, if you don't have enough money, you're going to go ahead and try to take out a loan. And I'll talk about that here in just a little bit. You also have cards that are insurance cards. These will protect you from different types of bills that you may draw. In this case, this will protect you from any auto repair bills that you draw. In order to use this card, you're going to have to just go ahead and pay the $200 in order to have the coverage, and this will be good for the entire game. Yeah. You also have a card here that is called Swellfare. You're only going to need this card if you are in debt, or use it if you are in debt, and I'll talk about that as well. If you are in debt, basically you'll be allowed to bet any amount of money up to $100, and if you roll a 5 or a 6, you'll collect 10 times whatever you bet. If you roll any other number, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and place this money in the pot, which is over here, and I'll talk about the pot here as well. There's also a lot of these cards that say advertisement, and there's also postcards. These are really just for humor. You don't have to pay money, or you won't receive any money. This is just basically junk mail.
There are also cards which will allow you to earn money.
Okay, so the next space is the deal space. If you land on the deal space, you're going to go ahead and draw a deal card. And here's what the deal card looks like. This is basically going to give you the opportunity to make some extra money. You're going to end up paying, if you'd like to, you can go ahead and pay the amount that is here, and what you're hoping to do is find a buyer. If you're able to find a buyer, the buyer will pay you that much amount of money, and buyer spaces look like this. There's one here, and there's one here. You'll also note that there is a commission amount here, and basically what that means is anybody else who is playing the game will have an opportunity to roll the die and try to win a commission, and whoever has the highest number will end up winning the amount that is shown on this card. Now the thing is with this is you have to be able to find a buyer before the game ends. If you end up stuck with a card by the time the game ends, then the card is going to be discarded. And you can also collect as many of these as you can afford to, and then if you land on a buyer, say you end up having, say, 2 cards, you can just basically pick which card you want to go ahead and sell. Now the town election is basically money that is going to go here to the pot right here, and also the Swellfare amounts for anybody that did not win that is also going to place money here. And basically what's going to happen is as soon as there's money in the pot, whoever ends up rolling the first 6 on their turn is going to win money that is in the pot over here. There's also a spot that says daylight savings time. This basically says all players move back 1 space. So wherever anybody is, they're going to go ahead and move back 1. Now, if it turns out they're on the start space over here, they're going to end up going back over here to the last day of the month, which is the payday, and they will go ahead and follow the instructions as far as the payday spot goes, which I'm going to talk about right now. Now, when you land on payday, there's a few things that are going to happen. The first thing is you're going to go ahead and collect $325.
The next thing you're going to do is try to pay off your bills.
Now, if it turned out that you end up having, say, $1,000 worth of bills or something like that, and you only have like $800, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go ahead and take out a loan. Or you can also take out a loan if you want to, say, buy a deal card, but you didn't happen to have the money to get it. So what that was going to happen is the person who is in charge of the record keeping is going to place the amount of money that you borrowed and then circle the L over here. And then what you're going to have to try to do is pay off that loan by the time you reach payday, if possible. Unfortunately, the first thing you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pay 20% interest on whatever the loan is. So if you had, like, say, owed $500 on the loan, you're going to have to pay $100 up front just for the interest. Now, you can just pay that, but you can also pay off part of the loan if you want to, and then it would just carry over into the next month. Also, whenever you land on here, you can start a savings account. Now, you cannot be in debt and have a savings account at the same time. Basically what happens is you're going to go ahead and give the banker, say, $500 or something like that, and then the banker is going to record that you put $500 towards your savings account. The next time you land on payday, you're going to receive a 10% interest on that savings. So in this case, since I put $500 in there, the banker is going to go ahead and give me $50. And anytime I land on the payday space, I'll have the opportunity to add more money to the savings account. But again, I cannot be in debt and have a savings account at the same time. So let's just say I landed on payday, and let's just say I had $500 in debt that I had, and I end up having $1,000 in my hand. I could go ahead and pay off the $500 loan and get that out of the way. And let's just say, and with the $500 left that I had, let's just say I happen to have this dental bill over here. I can go ahead and pay off this dental bill and get rid of it. I have to pay off the bills no matter what. So if I have to take out a loan to pay off the bills, I'm going to have to take out a loan. If I have a savings account in there, I'm just going to have to simply take out money from the savings account. And I think that there's a penalty for that. If there's a penalty, you'll simply pay the penalty. If not, you'll just simply take the money out of the savings account and then pay off the bill with that if you need to. And then you will simply go on to the next month. And the game will just basically continue on like that until everybody reaches payday at the last month that everybody chose. And then everybody's going to go ahead and count up their money. And whoever has the most amount of money at the end of the game is going to win the game. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you play classic Payday.